Oh, Persona 4. I couldn't tell you how many hours I've logged into this game, but I can guarantee that it's over 150. Yeah, I know. I don't really have a life, but who cares, right? Anyway, with Persona 5 on the heels of coming out later this year, I thought it'd be nice to go back and take a look at what the show that's been near and dear to my heart, Persona 4 the animation. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, let me retract that statement. Persona 4 the golden animation. But before we start this review, if you haven't seen Persona 4 the original animation, I highly suggest you do, because Persona 4 the golden animation does contain spoilers, and it really does ruin the story and plot of the show and the game. Also, I highly suggest playing Persona 4 Golden, the game for the Vita, if you haven't yet. Very good game, and you could log a bunch of hours in. So yeah, that's pretty much my disclaimer for this review. I am going to be adding spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet, then you will be seeing spoilers. So, without further ado, let's get on with my review of Persona 4 the Golden animation. So to cut through some bullshit, the only difference between the Golden animation and the original animation is a new character named Marie. Yu meets Marie at the train station when he gets to Inaba, and later on he finds out that she's a guest in the Velvet Room. Margaret and Igor suggest that he shows her his world so she can see what it's like, because apparently Marie has lost all her memories and doesn't know who she was before she came to Inaba. Pretty much from this point on in the show, it goes exactly how it does through the Vita game. Pretty much line by line, Yu and his friends trying to find out more about Marie and trying to restore her memories while fighting shadows and trying to figure out who the killer is in Inaba. Which brings me to the first problem that I have with the show. They didn't add a lot of detail from the original animation into the Golden animation. And I know this is mostly about Marie, but a lot of people that I heard that watched this were really disappointed just because they wanted even a little bit of detail of what happened when they went into the TV world. However, as a fan, I knew exactly what I was getting into before I started watching the show, just because of the fact that I knew this was going to be telling Marie's story about how she wanted to get her memories back, and I can kind of understand why everyone was a little disappointed because there wasn't a lot of action or telling of the original Persona 4 story in it. Honestly, I think the only reason I even began watching Persona 4 the Golden animation to begin with was because of the fact that Marie was played by Kana Hanazawa. I mean, if anyone doesn't know, Kana Hanazawa is pretty much in anything anime related, but she played Marie perfectly, like to a T. It was downright impressive, and after seeing her in shows like Nisekoi, Kotora-san, and Kobuto, I knew that I was going to enjoy it just because of the fact that Kana Hanazawa was in it and voice acting Marie. But I digress, guys. I apologize. In some of my reviews, I do tend to ramble and I do get distracted, and I figured I'd throw a little fun fact at you guys, and I hope you found it interesting and you enjoyed yourselves. Anyway, although Persona 4 the Golden animation did take a lot of major details from the original story out, they were able to add some small details in. And one small little detail that they put in there that I'm glad they did was a backstory for Adachi, which I thought was a good addition to the show. Now, when I mean that this was a good addition to the show, I honestly believe that this was a fucking phenomenal addition to this show, and I believe that it really needed it. And it just blew my mind how much detail that they put into Adachi's backstory. I mean, not only did they capture his emotions and his hatred for Yu, but also all of his philosophies and why he doesn't want to live in the world that he's in because it's pathetic. Other than Marie, he's the only other character in this adaptation that really stood out to me, and I'm glad that they gave him more airtime for it. Overall, if you're a big Persona 4 fan like I am, it might be a hit or miss for you because they don't tell a lot of the original story and only focus on Marie, which I thought was a good thing that they did just because of the fact that she's in Golden and no one really knew that much about her unless you played the Vita game. So they really did take a backseat on the action in the original story and focused it more on a slice of life feel so they could explain Marie's backstory. There is a little bit of action which I'm glad that they put in, and the fact that they gave Adachi a backstory was a good addition listening to it as well. Other than the story and the main plot of the show, which is what I've been mainly focusing on this entire review, the animation and art look phenomenal as always. I wasn't really surprised in that, and the music was all amazing. I mean, have you heard the ending theme to this show? Here, take a listen real quick. Yeah, when I first heard this song, it gave me chills, and it still kind of gives me the same chills that it did when I first heard it. And I would just sit back and just listen to it as the credits rolled towards the next episode. And you want to know what the best part about this song is, guys? You really want to know? Kana Hanazawa is the one that sings it. Yep, I brought her back up, I knew I would, and I figured I'd do it towards the end. But I digress once again, guys. But to summarize this little review, if you're a big Persona fan like I am, it may be a hit or miss for you, but I highly recommend at least giving it a shot. And if you've never seen the show whatsoever and you ended up watching the review all the way through, ignoring all my spoilers, hopefully it piqued your interest and you may want to watch the shows or play the game. Once again, guys, it's been your boy Big Sig, and I'll see you guys later.